Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready for our next game and our first game of basketball for this 15th edition of the ES Games. It's between the ladies of Uganda and the ladies from Kenya. The teams will shortly line up for the anthems, and then we shall have the team inspections, and then the game will start. Kenya, let's line up for the anthem, please. Let's line up for the anthems. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the anthems. Could you please rise for the anthems, starting with the anthem of the Republic of Kenya. Uganda. Thank you very much. We'll now have the inspection of the teams, starting with the match officials, Team Kenya, and then Team Uganda. And thereafter, the officials will have a group photo with the respective teams.
Causing pandemonium in the street. City to city, coast to coast. It's the one and only DJ Low P. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an appeal from the teams doing the live coverage on TV. They are requesting that all the supporters move to the other side because the cameras are this side. Supporters, let's move to the other side where the match of we have no pictures. The next photo is Team Kenya. And ladies and gentlemen, after this Battle match, we have a net goal at 4 o'clock. We have a net goal match at 4 o'clock right here. I'm requesting all the fans to move to the other side, please. Opposite the camera. At 4 p.m. we shall have another game between the two friendly leaders, Uganda and Kenya, for the netball at 4. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me wish all the teams on board luck and may the best team win. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the Lugogo Indoor Stadium for match day 2 of the East Africa Interparliamentary Games. The 15th edition of these games started yesterday with a football match in Lugogo at the MTN Omondi Stadium. One that was won by Uganda over Burundi. 4-1 it was. And now following the opening action earlier today in the sport of volleyball, we have basketball about to tip off, and it is Uganda in white against Kenya in the black and red. That's a rivalry that has been etched in history over the years. John Vianney Simba, I'm your commentator here on NBS Sport, bringing you the live action of the Interparliamentary Games of East Africa. And it's our first basketball game, and it's about to get underway here. We hope that you enjoy it. Just tighten your seatbelt and be in for what should be an impressive ride. Uganda and Kenya have over the years battled endlessly in different sports, and the run continues even with the different houses, different legislative houses taking each other on this afternoon. And let's see what the outcome would be as the game gets underway. Uganda on the attack, and let's see if they can get the first bucket. Yes, they do. And that is 2-0 for Uganda. Kenya couldn't make a major headway there, and that was the leg ball, and it will be Uganda's ball. Good passing here by Uganda. She keeps her pivot, but then couldn't get the bucket in. The foul play there by Uganda as the screams heighten here. A passionate crowd it is here, as it was a bit physical there. Kenya now on the attack, but then they can't complete the layup. Remains 2-0. Quite a number of whistles there by the referee, as it's a start-stop kind of game. Not so much dribbling taking place between the two sides. Good passing as Uganda try to get another bucket, but then there's a foul. As a whistle is blown, the foul is in favor of Uganda, who still lead 2-0. Well, the interesting thing is that the movement is not as fluid as we've probably been used to when it comes to watching the National Basketball League, where you have the younger girls playing. For many of the athletes on the screen now, these are veterans. Another attempt there by Uganda, but then Kenya couldn't keep the ball on the court, and it's another ball to Team Uganda. Team Uganda's post players still get the pass in, but then the dribbling is that's a bit physical from Uganda, and that's the first foul. Now she wanted to continue to play without getting off the court to inbound. Kenya's parliamentarians, the point guard, that should be a trouble, and shot number 10 didn't seem to be aware of what she needed to do. I wonder, she seems to have played the game possibly a long time ago, and she's forgotten the rules and the overall game structure. That's a good pass in by Kenya, but they still can't get a bucket. Seems to be heightened tension here as they anticipate a bucket, and they still can't get it, and it's a turnover as the Kenyans were caught by the shot clock violation. The scoreline remains 2-0. It's after almost 3 minutes. It's turning out to be more like a football match than a basketball match, where you expect that the baskets would be raining already. Attempted interception there by Kenya, but they just couldn't keep the ball on the court. And Uganda lose the ball, and that's a foul. After she lost the ball, she decided to hold her opponent. Kenya still looking for their first points, but then they lose the ball, and there's a foul this time by number one, Kenya's number one. Holding foul, so it's ball to Uganda, and she doesn't seem to be in agreement with the umpire. Clearly doesn't seem to be aware of the rules of basketball, and if you hold your opponent's hand, it is a foul. Uganda again, but then they lose the ball. Kenya now, good pass, but then flow is stopped there. Another attempt by Uganda. And Kenya lose the ball again. That's a good pass in by Uganda. But then there's a little intent there shown by Uganda to add to their points tally. You can see a host of the players on the court already heaving, trying to catch their breath. Just after 4 minutes of play, they're already feeling the pressure and also elements of exhaustion. There was a travel violation there, but I think that will not really be considered much in this game. Uganda attempt again. It's another foul by Kenya. Where the fans have come in to try and cheer on their teams on this Sunday afternoon. Kenya slowly building out of their D. They're not wasting so much time on the dribble. A good attempt there by Kenya, but then they pick the rebound. A second attempt, but this time it's Uganda with the ball. Picks the rebound. And Uganda go again, but they miss a second the rebound. Would have given them a second bucket. Nachimuli Helen missed there. Now Kenya, can they get their first bucket? They still miss it. And now Uganda. Now, good pass in. Can Uganda keep the ball on court? Nachimuli Helen, can she bury the bucket? And she wipes her face of the sweat. It's actually Amero Susan, the captain, shot number 5. She's got both buckets for Team Uganda. As a timeout is called, Uganda leading Kenya 4-0. Team Kenya trying to rally the troops here as they continue to trail. Uganda lost. Nachimuli Helen had lost the ball there, but then was picked up by Susan Amero, the captain. As they take a break, and inevitably needing some water to rehydrate. The interesting thing is that the Team Uganda is coached by a player that recently became champion in the National Basketball League, Innocent Ochera. One of the coaches on that technical bench of Team Uganda. He turns out for the Namongo Blazers in the National Basketball League. It remains 4-0. For Team Uganda here. It's deafening sound in the indoor. You would actually think that it is packed to the Raptors. Far from it. As the fans continue to create such a frenetic atmosphere here. An exciting one as well. But the game has not been raining baskets, as I'm sure many of you would have hoped, as a change is made there by Team Uganda. As they introduce Naluyima Etho, who is Women MP for Wakiso, if I'm not mistaken. She's been introduced in the rotation by the coach, so bringing in fresh legs. Let's see whether she really has the basketball background. Well, Team Uganda just has a 10 women rotation, while Kenya has 11. Four minutes and a quarter to play as Team Uganda brings some changes in. Introduce. It's going to be a jump ball here. Shot number 8 as well. Achayo Juliet Lodu. It's a jump ball and go to Team Uganda. Team Uganda lose the ball there, but Kenya cannot capitalize to punish them. As Naluima Etho now attempts to take Uganda forward there. Yeah, and she finds her teammate with that good pass at Deke Ann. As a foul on, well, that was a travel violation. It appeared like a foul as she attempted to jump and probably direct a jump shot there. Now it's Kenya's Catherine Omanyo. Receives the ball from Kibwana, but then they lose the ball again, and now in the hands of the Ugandan team. Atiang Stella. She finds Etho Naluima. And an attempt there from downtown. Atiang can't finish. He's got a second opportunity, but Kenya smother the ball, but they just can't move out of their area. Kenya on the offense now, and it is Omanyo, good passing, but well defended there by Deke Ann. Shot number 12 for Team Uganda. Omanyo, but then her teammate, whom she had played the ball back, had not yet stepped on court when she came in to inbound the ball, and that's Zamzam Chuba. Now Uganda again, Nachimuli Helen finds Atiang. Atiang again finds Ann Adeke. Etho Naluima. It's going to be a jump ball, and it will go to Team Uganda, who lead 4-0 in the first quarter of this basketball game. Catherine Omayo finds Aika Mizigi. Now Catherine Omayo just couldn't keep the ball on as she's put under pressure by Ann Adeke. Kenya now on the attack. That's a big throw there, but Ann Adeke with the rebound for Team Uganda. Kenya just can't get a break here as Fatuma Masito attempted. Etho now to Atiang. Atiang shoots. He gets a second bite to the cherries. Can't finish as Kenya defend their hoop. Play the ball out in two touch. Remains Uganda's ball. Achayo Juliet. Nachimuli shoots. Adeke now can't gather. Now Omanyo loses the ball to Nachimuli. Now Atiang trying to look for support from Anna Deke. Anna Deke shoots as well. Etho Naluima couldn't get the ball to drop for Team Uganda. Now Omanyo again for Kenya. There's an attempt there from Kibwana Hamida, shot 10. But there was a foul on her, so she'll go to the free throw line. It's quite interesting how excited the fans herein are pushing their respective teams. As Kibwana prepares to take her free throws, as Helen Nachimuli is withdrawn. And for Uganda, shot number 6, and she's replaced by Atuto Jacinta. Oh, Kibwana of Kenya misses her first attempt. Well, she seems to have some basketball background, seeing the way she's gesturing there, where she misses. But I guess if you've taken so many years without playing a particular sport, it's quite some bit of fun trying to rekindle those days, as these members of parliament are doing. But Anna Deke clearly has the basketball background, seeing the way she's pivoting. And there's a pass there to her from Atiang. Kibwana now of Kenya finds Chayo. Kenya finds Kibwana again, she shoots, but then she can't finish, as Anne Adeke picked the ball from the rebound, but then there's going to be a jump ball, and it's in favor of Kenya. Well, the Kenyan fans are enjoying it here. This must be other MPs supporting fellow MPs. Good pass in by Kenya now. Can they get a bucket here? Not yet. It's Atiang. Put under pressure by Honorable Kayel Kasiwai. Shot number 13 for Kenya. Well, and I don't know what Anna Deke was attempting there, whether she was attempting to the hoop, but it turns out to be an air ball. Kenya have 29 seconds to play. Kasiwai couldn't get to that ball there. It's really been a hard paper for the Kenyan players here. Yet to get a bucket. Can they get it finally? Now Kasiwai attempts also, can't get it. Atuto Jacinta of Uganda also try to keep the ball in, and now Kenya steps out. That's Omanyo, shot 1. As she received the pass, she stepped out into touch. Main 7 seconds. Atuto receives the ball from Anna Deke. Well, she seems to have an idea. Now Anne, but then couldn't get to the hoop before the buzzer went to mark the end of the first quarter, where Uganda lead 4-0. It's quite interesting to see how players that probably played the game 20 or so years try to get back to play it. Well, Uganda has only got 2 buckets and were made by that lady in your picture there, Amero Susan. She seems to have a real basketball background, seeing the way she finished off there, the 2 buckets that Uganda now boasts of. Including that one, which was the first one in the early exchanges. The fans also enjoying the game here. As it is advantage Uganda so far as the hosting nation. It's been a good outing for them in the first quarter as they lead. Well, it's not usual to see basketball players holding handkerchiefs while on the field of play. But Honorable Ameru didn't leave hers behind. She's used her size and height to great effect there, as you can see in the replay. That was a good pass from Anna Deke. I'm sure that even though there are clear struggles that these players have, I think having not played the sport for many years, for the people that are watching, they must be having real fun. It's also good to really draw back the years when you are a young athlete. I'm sure that brings a sense of nostalgia for many of these honorables. And the second quarter is about to get started here. As Anna Deke will get us underway as we are back here for the second quarter between Uganda and Kenya, the East Africa Interparliamentary Games. Kenya trailing 4-0 against Uganda. The Kenyan players have really struggled to find the bucket until now, maybe where there's an opening, but they still can't get the ball into the hoop. And Kiswai attempts, they still cannot get the ball to drop. Second opportunity there by Veronica Maina, who is a senator. Atuto finds the player that Amero, who has got the 2 buckets for Uganda, finds Atuto again. Now Anna Deke as well. There's a foul on Anna Deke. Sideboard there. There was some real hustle play there as the Kenyan team attempted to get the ball off Anna Deke. That's another bucket for Uganda by Amero Susan. She's got all the 3 buckets for Uganda. She's really been a threat. Uganda leads 6-0. For some reason, when Susan Ameru is on the court, Uganda find a way of scoring, getting the buckets. They lead 6-0. I'm sure Kenyan must be seething inside. They want to just get a bucket. I'm sure something that the Kenyans dislike is losing to Uganda. That's how big the rivalry is. But then the ball has been turned over after the 24-second clock caught up with the Kenyans. Ghana make another change, and they've just introduced shot number 2 right there on the ball. That is Nebanda Florence. Anna Deke finds Susan Ameru, but then she is fouled as she attempted, so she'll go to the free throw line. According to the umpire, Lewis. 6-0 the score line is. Susan Ameru misses her first attempt. She's the captain of Team Uganda. Well, the second one is also an air ball. So the scoreline remains 6-0. But now the pressure will be on the Kenyans to try and see that they get a bucket in. Otherwise, it's proving to be difficult for them to get anything past the Ugandan defense. Susan again, Ameru. This time she doesn't finish off her chance now. Florence Nebanda attempts Susan there to pick a rebound, but then she can't finish off the opportunity. Now the Kenyans turn defense into attack. Macho, and then Kenya attempts this time. They get a rebound, still can't finish. Florence Nebanda rebounds and finds Atuto. Good pass to Anna Deke, as she was fouled there by Catherine Omanyu of Kenya, shot number 1. tried to restrain her from advancing towards the Kenyan hoop. Desperate situations call for, desperate measures are called for in desperate situations, because that's exactly what Catherine Omanyo did to stop Anne Odeke. The ball is ripped out. Susan Amero, Nebanda keeps the ball alive there for Uganda. An attempt there by Susan Amero rather. Now Kenya. And Omanyo again, despite running the full length of the court, is unable to get a bucket for Kenya, and they still remain on naught. They still have 6.5 minutes to play in this quarter though. Another change made by Kenya as they bring on shot number 7, Esther Pasaris. Amero again for Uganda. Pass from Anne Adeke, and that makes it 8-0. Kenya trailing 8-0. And a whistle is blown for a timeout. Kenyan players want a breather. They want to have a chat with their coach. Zona Eboameru, Susan, also takes to her seat and rehydrates. But they must be pleased by the fact that they maintain their lead. Now it is, at the end of the first quarter it was 4-0, now it is 8-0. With 6 minutes and 17 seconds to play. Well, the coaches are now doing their work to instruct the players and give them new guidelines. As so replay one of the buckets that has been scored by Honorable Ameru. She's the only player on the court that has found the bucket. 4 times she has. So at this rate, you probably think that she's the MVP of the game, especially if she can maintain this performance. That was a good pass from Anne Adeke to find her. When she received the ball, just went up and bang, on the money. Added to Uganda's tally. Well, the timeout is up now, so game will resume. Kenyan coaches are looking desperate, even with the smiles, as their supposed star player, Amanyo Catherine, doesn't look happy. I wonder what the problem is, as she's been given a break to allow her other teammates also an opportunity to play. Kenya again. Well, I guess some rules are being ignored, like the backcourt play. Florence Nebanda, an attempt there, and Ameru again. She misses this time from close range. Now passes of Kenya, loses the ball. Passes of Kenya, but then she steps out. So it's ball to Uganda. Chayo Juliet inbounds for Uganda, finds Florence Nebanda. And now it's Atuto Jacinta to Amero. Amero shoots again. And extends Uganda's lead to 10. And the fans are enjoying it here. She's the only player, like I said earlier on, that has scored buckets in this game, and she's scored 5 buckets. Now it's Kenya's turn, but they're still struggling even with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Hamida Kibwana, shot 10, brings the ball forward for Kenya, but then still struggling to get any points on the board. So the inbound will have to be repeated here by Kenya. And then they lose the ball momentarily now. Hamida Kibwana. As a team, Minor shoots, but that's an air ball. Kenya continue to trail by 10-0. Florence Nebanda. Atuto now. And that's another bucket. And this time it is by shot number 45, Galiwango Koni, who has just been introduced in this quarter. Uganda 12-0. They lead Kenya. As the flags continue to be waved high. Kenya on the offense, but there's a foul on Kenya's number 2, Mayaka Irene. So it's going to be a side ball. Ameru is withdrawn. And of course, Biaruhanga as well in Uganda's corner there, cheering on the Ugandan parliamentarians. And Anne Adeke returns. Turns in place of Florence Nebanda. Remains 12-0 with 4 minutes to play. Kenya inbound, but they lose the ball as Ludo now finds Atuto for Uganda. After Chayo Juliet passed her the ball. There she is, Atuto makes it 14-0 for Uganda. They're really fired up to try and get to extend their lead. It's Team Uganda. Can Kenya get one back? Now it's Irene Alayo for Kenya. And yes, she gets their first bucket. Irene Mayaka right there with a broad smile. And that's how important it is to them. It's now 14-2. Galiwanga attempts again for Uganda. She shoots again, but this time bounces on Etho. Nalima tries to rebound. And then there is a real battle for possession, but can Kenya keep the ball on court? And Anna Deke makes the steal, finds Nalima Etho. And Adeke now to Galiwango. Galiwango makes it 16. Uganda 16-2. They already scored 2 buckets. Samani for Kenya. Hata Achayo is really defending well for Team Uganda. She's donning shot number 8. She does her utmost to deny Kenya any pathways to Uganda's hoop. Kenya the attack now, Mayaka Irene, but then caught by the shot clock violation. Men 16-2. Achayo Juliet Lodu will inbound for Team Uganda. But the ball is stolen by Kenya. Has gone and it's going to be Uganda's ball as Kayel Kasiwai of Kenya committed the foul, or rather the foul was committed on her, and therefore she go to the free throw line. Shot number 13, there she is, Kasiwai. That's an air ball. Kasiwai misses the second one as well. And the third one is also an air ball. Remains 16-2 to Uganda. Anna Deke almost losing the ball, but then she finds Galiwango. Now Atuto now to Galiwango, who loses but the ball after she was fouled. Interesting that some of these players don't even hear the whistle when it is blown. I guess that's the fun bit of it all. Galiwango Koni at the free throw line for Uganda with 1 minute and 47 seconds left in this second quarter. As Coach Innocent Ochera gives fresh instructions to Honorable Achayo Juliet Lodu. Oh, wow. The first free throw scored in the game as Honorable Basari celebrates that bucket. Etho Naluima makes it 19-2 for Uganda. Kenya now, and Mayaka gets their second bucket. makes it 4-19. She celebrates like she just won a jackpot. Atuto, good play there. Attempts, but then Mayaka with the rebound for Kenya. And that's a good shot. Coming in from Kasiwai, shot number 13. Makes it 6 points for Kenya. They trail by 13. Kenya again. Missed that opportunity, well rebounded by Anne Adeke. Finds Nalima Etho, passes to Koni Galiwango. Atuto now. Nalima Etho has another chance. Can she make it 21? Yes, she does. Galiwa to Anna Deke with 14 seconds left. Achayo Juliet. Atuto again. Yes. Attempt was really far off the mark. 7 seconds to go. Time runs out on Team Kenya. And it remained 21-6 at the end of the second quarter. Teams going to a break. It's going to be a 15-minute break. And at halftime, it is Uganda parliamentarians leading the Kenyan legislators 21-6 here live on NBS Sport. We'll be back shortly after this break. Ugandan sport, including sports by the legislators around the East African region. Your commentator John Vianney Simbe as the third quarter gets underway, with Kenya needing some inspired display in this quarter if they are to get back into this game, as Kaswai got one of the most interesting buckets in the game. Attempts there for Kenya, and now Uganda on the attack as Atiang, who didn't play a part in the second quarter, tries to launch a fresh attack now, and that's a good start for Kenya as Hamidu Kabwana just got that bucket for Kenya. Now they have 18 now, and Adek finds Atiang, and Atiang gets Uganda to extend its lead. Points to 8. Kaswai finds pass to Masito. Masito attempts, but then now she finds Hamida Kibwana. Atiang with a big pass there to find Amero Susan, the captain of Team Uganda. Uganda make it 25 now. Can Kenya respond? But then they lose the ball there. Amidu Kibwana. And it's now Helen Nachimuli for Uganda. And the pass there. And Adeke couldn't retrieve the ball. The whistle goes for an injury scare here to Haika Mizigi of Team Kenya. So play will stop momentarily to extend treatment to her. (25-8) is the score line. 17-point difference, 8 minutes to play. Seems to be some really serious injury here to the Kenyan legislator, Nuzigi Haika. Honorable Moses Magogo right there in your picture. He was in action yesterday as Uganda men's side beat Kenya, rather Burundi 4-1. He was the captain of the Ugandan parliamentarians. That was a good pass coming in from Helen Nachimuli. Try and find Atuto Jacinta. And then you can see Haika is limped off. Guess she must have twisted something in her leg and she can't continue, unfortunately. And inevitably she'll be replaced by shot number 14, Veronica Maina. It's quite unfortunate for her. I'm sure she must have been looking forward to the game. That's a pushing foul by Kenya's Omanyo Catherine on Atuto. Well, she doesn't seem to agree with the umpire's call. Well, isn't this a time where the umpire just shows her a technical? Or rather, issues a technical, she continues her protest. Oh, would that be too harsh? Atiang for Uganda. Atiang again shoots but then can't get the bucket. Kenya really fumbling with the ball here, as you can see. Korea lost the ball, and then Amero not happy about her teammates and the way they passed the ball to her there. Omanyo put under pressure, but that was an illegal play there by Anna Deke. I don't know whether the referee had seen that. Well, Omanyo wants to be given 2 free throws even when he was not attempting to score. Wouldn't that be too generous from the referee? Foul by shot number 10 of Kenya, Kibwana Amida. So it's going to be side ball to Team Uganda. Well, that looked like an easy pass to contain for Atuto, but the ball just went straight out. Manyo for Kenya. She's fouled there by Stella Atiang. Blocking foul. So it's going to be a side ball to Omanyo after Stella Atiang fouled her. Koril for Kenya. In a battle with Helen Nachimuli, and Helen wins the battle, and that's an unsporting foul by Kibwana there on Helen Nachimuli, but gives her an embrace, I guess, as a sign of sportsmanship. Atuto loses the ball, and Kibwana will get a bucket for Kenya and make it 10. After Atuto had hoped that the referee's whistle would go for a foul on her, but it didn't come. Now it's a 15-point game. Now it is Stella Atiang to Helen Nachimuli. Team Uganda to Atuto, but then Atuto didn't read the flight of the ball well, and it went straight into touch. Kibwana to Chepkoril. Chepkoril loses the ball out. Omanyo tried to intercept that pass to Anne Adeke. Uganda still maintain 15-point lead. Atuto's attempt, she's fouled, so she'll go to the free throw line and take her 2 free throws. Honorable Atuto Jacinta on the free throw line for Uganda's parliamentarians. Tutu's first attempt. That's off the mark there. Goes for a second one, this time well rebounded by Omanyo of Kenya. Omanyo of Kenya finds Kibwana. Kibwana gets a pass into Mike Kiswai, and Kiswai gets another bucket for Kenya. It's now 25-12. The Kenyan fans are in full voice here. Helen Namyalo, rather Nachimuli. Atiang misses, has a second chance, but she misses again. And Chep Koril of Kenya gets the ball. There's a post to Kiswai. Kiswai misses. She gets the ball again on the rebound. Chep Koril and Kibwana off the glass into the bucket, and Kenya now on 14 points. 11-point game. They're fighting back slowly but surely. The celebrations in the stands also ensue for the Kenyan fans. And now trailed by 11. The timeout has been called by Team Uganda. I guess they need to rejig a few things, otherwise they are not scoring, yet they are conceding. Well, for the Ugandan fans who had been celebrating their team's good first two quarters, they look bewildered now, wondering what could have befallen the team. The Kenyans are the ones that are enjoying the game now, and they have taken over the support here at the Lugogo Indoor Stadium. For some reason they have silenced their Ugandan counterparts, who seem to have dominated the support in the first two quarters. Well, the Kenyans look fired up again now. Unless something happens for Uganda, as that young misses opportunity. And Meru attempts, but then not a good attempt, as Kiswai calls for the ball. And Omanyo drives, but then Helen Nachimoli defends well for Team Uganda, but then she gives the ball back to Kenya. Kibwana can't get the shot. Now it is end-to-end, it appears. Atiang loses the ball. Omanyo finds Kiswai. Kiswai shoots. Now Anna Deke finds Amero. Helen Amero gets a bucket for Uganda. Now 27-14. Amero puts pressure on Omanyo of Kenya. Now it's Chep Koril for Kenya. Finds Kiswai. Kiswai's attempt lacks precision, and the ball is stolen by Uganda, but just momentarily, as Omanyo gets the ball back and finds Kibwana. Kiswai is defended there by Atiang Stella, and but then there was a foul, and to be a shooting foul. Can Kiswai reduce the deficit that Kenya trailed by of 13 points? So far got 2 buckets in this quarter. She's been enjoying herself. That's an air ball by Kiswai. He can't get the second one in, but then Kibwana attempts on the rebound. And then Omanyo steps on the line. She seems to be a feisty character and quite a top competitor, seeing how much she hustles for the ball. That is Omanyo, shot number 1 for Kenya. Doesn't want to lose. Amero again for Uganda. That attempt was short. Kenya defend well. Chepkoril. Chepkoril. Got some sense of urgency in this Kenyan side. With 2.5 minutes to play in this third quarter. The Kenyan parliamentarians that are not in action grimacing here in disappointment as Kiswai misses. Chepkoril also attempts. Kiswai has another bite to the cherry. Can she finish? No, she's unable. Florence Nebanda and Chepkoril tries to set up the ball of Helen Nachimuli, the Ugandan legislator. Well, there was a foul there on Helen Nachimuli, so she'll go to the free throw line as the Kenyans are over the limit in terms of fouls. They've committed 5 fouls. So Helen Nachimuli has a chance to extend Uganda's lead. She's been quite competitive in this game for Team Uganda. She misses her first free throw. It was an air ball. It is an air ball. She misses a second, but Ameru picks a rebound. Helen again shoots, but then Omanyo just gets a steal of it on Omanyo. Misses. Has a rebound here. Kiswai misses. And Adeke. Achai Juliet finds Florence Nebanda. Helen Nachimuli. And then her pass is not good. Kenyans desperate to reduce the deficit, but they've got to do better. They lose the ball. Nebanda. Helen Nachimuli misses. Very close range. Kibwana. Foul by Anne Adeke. It's going to be a side ball. Swai to Kibwana, but Kibwana loses the ball to Helen Nachimuli. Stolen back by man of Kenya, but not for long. Neba and Florence loses it. And Adeke. As Etho Naluyima is introduced in place of Amero. Helen Nachimuli still can't finish up opportunity. She decided to shoot from downtown instead. Whether it was a long two. After several attempts, he finally gets points on the board. Helen Nachimuli. Makes it. It was a 3-point shot from Helen Nachimuli. Except Koril now for Kenya. Kiswai. And time runs out with Uganda leading Kenya 30-14. At the end of the third quarter. Ugandan supporters are now re-energized once again after they had been silenced earlier on in the third quarter. They must be enjoying themselves, especially after their team experienced a good finish to the third quarter. One more quarter to go to confirm a first victory in the basketball championship. These East African legislators. The Vuvuzelas are really bellowing in here. Big support. He's cranking up here. That was a 3-point shot from Helen Nachimuli. Some really beautiful execution from her. She's really been a consistent contributor to this Ugandan team. I guess that she really deserved that after so much hassle. Kenyan fans have also had a good time in the third quarter particularly. Although they are finishing, save for a few moments like that one by Hamida Kibwana, shot 10. Such a consistent competitor for their side. She's given the Kenyan side a sense of belief, hope, and inspired their fight against a Ugandan side that has been leading since the beginning of the game. So the fourth and final quarter is about to get underway here. Look at that shot by Helen Nachimuli. It will be a highlight reel for the Ugandan parliament, I can tell you that. We've got 10 more minutes to play as the two teams return to the court with changes. You can see Etho Naluyima shot 3 for Uganda. Connie Galiwango shot 45. As well as Achayo Juliet been doing a good job in her shot number 8, especially on the defensive side for Team Uganda. I wonder why the Kenyans are delaying the restart of the game. The players are not returning to the court. Have they thrown in the towel? Well, the referee's whistle has already gone, calling the players to get back on court. So it remains a mystery why the Kenyans are really delaying the restart. It's only 2 Kenyan players on the court now. Well, the others, I guess, were still taking a break, an extended break. But now it's a full team. And the fourth quarter begins with an onslaught from Uganda here, but Ethok misses, but then her blushes are saved by Connie Galiwango, who makes it 32 for Team Uganda. Connie Galiwango has been quite an efficient player for Team Uganda. The minutes she's been on court, she's been scoring. Is that a travel violation? Yeah, clearly Anna Deke committed a travel violation. The ball is turned over to Kenya now. Irene Mayaki for Kenya. Kibwana. Chepkoril Lynette. Kiswai now for Kenya, but then the defensive steal of Achayo Juliet had intercepted that, but then she gave the ball back to Omanyo, who shoots, but then Ghana defense of Atuto Jacinta plays the ball straight into touch. Anna Deke with the ball put under pressure by the Kenyans. Connie finds Atuto plays it to Ethan Nalima, who commits a foul for the push. Kibwana attempts again for Kenya, but unsuccessful, as appears to have been a foul on her there, so she'll go to the free throw line. Kibwana's attempt misses, but not by much. He has got a second opportunity. Misses it as Anne Adeke rebounds and finds Achayo Juliet, but then Kenya steal the ball. Mayaki, Irene. Kibwana shoots again for Kenya. Anna Deke finds Etho Naluima. Etho again to Koni, but that was a very heavy pass. Koni couldn't get to it. Scoreline remains 32-14. Uganda lead Kenya. Kiswai for Kenya, she shoots, but then couldn't get the targets now. And Adeke. Atuto finds Etho. Etho's attempted pass there was intercepted. Well, the two teams seem not to have their shooting range on in this fourth and final quarter. Kibwana attempts, the ball is stolen by Uganda. Now Etho, I wonder whether she can dunk there. No, she couldn't, but she finds the bucket nonetheless. Team Uganda makes it 34. Now a 20-point game. Chepkoril Lynette. Mayaka loses the ball. Chepkoril is fouled. It's a shooting foul, so Chepkoril will go to the free throw line for Team Kenya to try and reduce the deficit with 6.5 minutes left to play. As Susan Amero returns for Team Uganda, she's the captain, shot number 5. Chepkoril's attempt is not good enough. She'll get a second shot. It's a poor shot by Chepkoril. Natuto gets it for Uganda. Now Amero finds Naruima. Naruima finds Atiang. Makes it 36 for Uganda. They now lead by 22. Changes have been made by the Ugandan parliamentarian coach. Added size to the team in terms of height. Omanyo finds Kisiwa, but then Kiswai just couldn't beat Atian Stella on the rebound there. Koni. Amero, bucket good for Uganda on the quick break. What a fourth quarter that they are having. Now lead 38-14. Mayaka, Irene. I wonder what she was attempting there. Koni Galiwango is withdrawn, and in her place is a player who has not played a single minute yet, but will have an opportunity now. Shot number 9 for Team Uganda, Nekesa Victoria. Etho Naluima to Atiang, shoots, and it's a bucket. 40-14, Uganda lead. I doubt Kenya still have the energy to push. But more importantly, I feel that Uganda will feel that this is a victory secured. The fact that they are leading by 26 points with 4 minutes to play. Mayaka Irene, not a good pass as Atuto makes the steal and finds Etho Naluima. Etho Naluima plays it to Amero. Atuto shoots, but then the ball just slides off the iron. Nekesa Victoria now finds Amero, but then a shot just bounces off the hoop there. And Kenya get the ball out of the danger zone as they attack now. Kiswai to Mayaka. Good interplay, good pass by Mayaka Irene to find her teammate Kaswai. They make it 16 points, their first bucket of the fourth quarter. Foul committed by Team Kenya, holding foul. Shot number 12, Abdilali Miraj, Senator Miraj has committed the foul there as Atuto is withdrawn as Florence Nebanda returns. Naluima finds Florence Nebanda. Nekesa Victoria to Atiang. Atiang misses, but Naluima Etho picks the ball again. To Amero, and it just bounces in and out. Nebanda has a second bite to the cherry. Couldn't finish the opportunity off with that 2 minutes to go. Mayaka Irene finds Omanyo Catherine for Kenya. Probably desperate to get to the 20-point mark. Yes. And Kaswai makes it 18 to Kenya. 14-40 to Uganda. The Kenyans will be happy about the efforts of their team. Desperate for another bucket, and the bucket is good by shot number 20, Veronica Minor, the senator. And you can tell from her celebration, but also that of her supporters on the sideline. Etho Naluima now finds Amero. Amero shoots. Now Mayaka Irene for Kenya finds Kaswai. Kaswai keeps the ball. Omanyo attempts, but that's an air ball. With about 3 seconds left on the clock. And that is it. Uganda opened their account with a victory over Kenya in women's basketball of the East African Parliamentary Games. 40-20 is the final score, and I'm sure Honorable Moses Magogo, who is a member of Parliament and also FUFA president, has enjoyed that part of the game. Another game of East African rivalry as Uganda will be taking on Kenya in the netball. I'll leave you with the pictures as the two teams mingle. to celebrate what is the most important thing, and that is the game itself and the spirit of sportsmanship.